Hey guys, how's it going? This is the Bald Metal Nerd coming at you with another vid. And in this one, I want to start off again by giving a great big shout out over to Chris at Dixieland Farms for giving me the inspiration for the idea of making this video. His most recent video was about music snobbery. So I thought I would tackle that same topic in this video as it is pretty rampant in music aficionado communities, especially in the metal community. There is a belief amongst many metal heads that if you like music like, say, this or this, right, more extreme metal as it were, that heaven forbid that you like, this or this. Yeah, I know two albums by the same artist, but I really love that band. Heaven for help you even more if you like this. This is an awesome album, by the way. My opinion. Not nearly a big a fan as I like Skid Row a lot better, but still, that's a great fucking album. And God help you. God help you. Or I'm sorry, Satan help you, more appropriately, if you have anything along this in your collection. I'm not a huge Poison fan, but this was in cassette form, this was one of the first two albums I ever owned. So anyway, basically what it boils down to is if you, if you're into manly extreme metal, heaven forbid you if you like any pussy music like, the glam metal or whatever. As for myself, obviously, I am a much bigger fan of extreme metal than I am of the glam metal. I'm a lot more likely to put on Slayer than Poison. It's not even close. But that being said, I do enjoy both for different reasons. And, now if somebody put a gun to my head and said, are you going to want to give up Motley Crue and Poison or Creator and Death? Motley Crue and Poison are right out the door. Not that I don't like them, it's just... And I own many more extreme metal CDs than, glam, because it's, I just don't like it as much, but who cares? I do like both for different reasons, and to me, you can like pretty much whatever the hell you want. And now, I'm going to commit some more blasphemy here. I actually kind of like this album. As controversial as this album is in metal circles, I like about 2/3 of it fairly well. Is it the best Metallica album? No, not even close. It's not even their top third, but I'd say it's a fairly solid album overall with some pretty good songs on it. And when it first came out, I was rather conflicted about that album. It came out in '96, so I was... depending on when it came out in the year, I was either a junior or senior in high school. Just, I don't know the exact release date, so sorry. But, one or the other. I think it was maybe towards the end of my junior. I don't know. Anyway, all I know is that's what it came out at that time period, and I was highly conflicted on the album. When it first came out, I basically kind of hyped it up in my brain to be a lot better than what it actually was. And I kind of grew to hate the album at a certain point in my life. When I was a couple years later, I actually gave it away to the brother of a girl I was dating at the time. I gave him that and Reload as well. I just gave them away. I just was like, take them. I rebought Load a couple years ago at a used CD place for like $5 or whatever. It's like, why not? It's decent enough. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. And then, of course, in metal, they also say God forbid you like anything that's not metal, right? So, you know, don't like this. Or if you like that, God, don't like any of that pussy pop music, right? No pussy pop music for me. Yeah. That's another attitude. So now, to be fair, when I was young, when I was in middle and high school, when when the music that I listened to was a huge part of my identity, which I always dressed in the metal regalia, as it were. I was the only well, me and one other kid in my school did. It was literally just two of us. It was I always wore the band T-shirts. I had the leather jacket. I actually still have the jacket. I don't really wear it much anymore, but I still own it. The band T-shirts, of which I still have some, and of course, uh, jeans all the time and boots or whatever. And that's just what I always wore. And I actually had hair back then, and I attempted to grow it. Yeah, I know, right? So, that was a huge part of who I was. And since metal is an outsider's music, I, identified with that so much that I did look down on people who had different musical tastes than myself because I perceived their musical taste as inferior to mine. I did start to really grow out of that pretty rapidly after high school. When I hit college and I made friends with a wide variety of people who were into, different styles of music that kind of fell away. But for me, I think the reason I held on to that music snobbery so hard in high school is because I was, I did go through some shit in school. I was, bullied some in school, and all the other, the few kids here and there who were into it, we bonded over the music. And we were friends because of it. I mean, that's largely we built our friendships based solely on that in the beginning, and then just I'm actually still friends with a few of those people to this day. And I have one really really good friend who is extremely into metal. He has he has a band and everything. He's a really good friend of mine, and we talk about music constantly, and that's a ton of fun. Especially when you share that in common with somebody, it is a great thing to bond over. But that being said, I don't. I certainly nowadays I do not look down on people who have a different musical taste than I do. Like I said, I started to grow out of that shit in college, and it's way behind me now. It's about 20 years behind, really, me being a music elitist uh, at this point. I think partially just because I'm away from only bonding with, or having strong bonds with people because of the music alone, and just making friends with a wider variety of people. And it just has diminished with age. That and my own musical taste have broadened quite a bit as I've aged. I pretty much, when I was younger, I pretty much only listened to metal. It's still obviously my favorite kind of music, and I don't think that will ever change. But I certainly like a lot of stuff outside of metal now, a whole lot of stuff. So it's really that simple. Is it nice if somebody shares my musical taste? Yeah, but is it requirement for me to be friends with them or anything? No, not at all. So, and as far as another point that Chris made in his video, where people basically having to like important music, that was part of the quote he was reading. I've never forced myself to like important metal. I pretty much have always just liked it. Because of course the most important metal bands are very often the best ones. You got Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Motorhead, and then of course in the 80s, or starting off, and then Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, Slayer, Testament, Overkill, Creator, blah 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 blah. I love all those bands for a whole lot of reasons. I guess the only quote important metal band that doesn't do a lot for me is Lamb of God. I don't hate them. I think they're okay, but they don't really do a whole lot for me. I find them a little bit sort of generic. I'm not a huge fan. I know a lot of people are, but I'm just like, yeah, they're all right. And some of the, newer bands that are supposedly real, some of them I really like, and some of them I find kind of boring. So I've really never forced myself to like anything. So anyway, I really want to hear in the comments below your guys' experience with this. Are you a music snob? Did you used to be a music snob? How often do you run across music snobbery? Anything related or unrelated that you feel like throwing down there is fine by me. Anyway, that's pretty much going to wrap this up. If you did enjoy this, as always, please thumbs up, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Thanks a whole lot for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.